Greetings folk, this is the second time I'm recording this because as usual I'm getting a little bit messy with technology, and I've learned that in these video sharings it's really helpful to have text, which I totally get. I think it's so important to find ways to connect with others in as accessible as possible. So I've got an audio diary going on here, recording the sound, and then you recording the image, and then I'll bring the two together afterwards. And it's so time consuming, my goodness. Anyway, before sitting down and pressing record, I was really feeling a desire to return to the other kind of video diaries, just sharing how yesterday, today has been, what's happening behind the scenes at CareNest, what our current challenges and areas of nourishment are, and all of that. However, I'm going to try and remain as disciplined as possible and continue reading Rest is Resistance. It feels like such an important book, really important messages to be taking on board. So we are currently some way through chapter 1. Our last sentence where we left off yesterday was, I ask for us to walk this road slowly together, lay down together and collectively care for each other in a way that makes rest possible. So before continuing, let's just take a moment to invite rest into our moment by pausing, relaxing and opening. So continuing on, fear, which is a function of grind culture, was able to drive the doctor's thinking, leaving my intuition ignored and the pain and disappointment of an unnecessary cesarean section. The doctor wanted my son out immediately so that she could move on to her next patient without a lawsuit and the extended time of allowing the labour process to begin naturally. Later, my son left the comfort of our slow-paced home into the public school system, and I began to watch slowly how his voice, connection to his body, and intuition were attacked. In elementary school, students are being trained to be workers who can follow orders, memorise facts and be on time no matter what. Imagination and critical thinking skills are replaced with cookie-cutter learning and standardised testing. I would volunteer in my son's 3rd grade classroom weekly and notice the young children being told, "Hold your pee, bathroom break isn't for another 20 minutes. I watched in horror as an 8-year-old squirmed, attempting to wait the 20 minutes until he could allow his body to relieve itself. The teacher, obviously overwhelmed with a large classroom, continued to ignore his cues, and he eventually used the bathroom on himself. I helped take him to the bathroom to clean up and walked him to the office so his parents could be called to bring a change of clothes. This blatant disregard of his body and the unnecessary embarrassment he and other students suffer in public school systems begin the process of learning to ignore the needs of your body. The brainwashing starts. The removal of physical education, recess and nap time from public schools is more evidence of a culture unconcerned with space, connection and slowing down. This ongoing socialisation and manipulation by the systems then become internalised, and we become the agents of grind culture. Many people believe grind culture is this pie-in-the-sky monster directing our every move, when in reality, we become grind culture. We are grind culture. Grind culture is our everyday behaviours, expectations and engagements with each other and the world around us. We have been socialised, manipulated and indoctrinated by everything in culture to believe the lies of grind culture. In order for a capitalist system to thrive, our false beliefs in productivity and labour must remain. We have internalised its teachings and become zombie-like in spirit and exhausted in body. So we push ourselves and each other under the guise of being hyper-productive and efficient. From a very young age, we begin the slow process of disconnecting from our body's need to rest, and are praised when we work ourselves to exhaustion. We tell our children to stop being lazy when they aren't participating in work culture with the same intensity as us. We lose empathy for ourselves first and push excessively. We become managers, teachers and leaders who fall prey to the allure of a capitalist system and treat those we have the honour of working with as human machines. We become rigid and impatient when our checklist isn't completed to perfection. We become less human and less secure. We believe we are only meant to survive and not thrive. We see care as unnecessary and unimportant. We believe we don't really have to rest. We falsely believe hard work guarantees success in a capitalist system. I have been told this constantly for as long as I can remember. On nights when I work 2 jobs, still unable to pay my bills on time or save, I continued to tell myself, burn the midnight oil, keep working hard, go to college, find a 3rd job and a side hustle. I clearly remember the moment it clicked for me, how a capitalist, patriarchal, ableist, anti-black system could never make space for the success I wanted for myself. The success grind culture props up centres constant labour, material wealth, and overworking as a badge of honour. Resting is about the beginning process of undoing trauma so that we can thrive and evolve back to our natural state, a state of ease and rest. We are meant to survive and ultimately thrive because we are divine. All of culture is in collaboration for us not to rest. This includes K-12 public education, higher education, faith and religious denominations, medical industry and not-for-profits, activist organisations, corporations. Even those who claim to be a part of the wellness industry are pushing, hustling, grinding, capitalism, girl boss, competition and co-opting the work of indigenous practices for clout and money. I believe academia is the headquarters for grind culture, and it is a full circle moment that the energy and idea for the NAP ministry came to me while I was suffering from exhaustion in a graduate school programme. Our everyday behaviours and false beliefs about productivity drive us into behaving in a robotic, machine-like way. The way we hold ourselves and others to the lie of urgency is white supremacy culture, and we will never be able to rest or be liberated from oppression while we are honouring and aligning with it. Liberation and oppression cannot occupy the same space. It's not possible. We must go slow and place intention at the forefront of this disruption. This work is not simply a reminder to rest, but a full interruption and turning toward a rested future. This is political work that is unafraid to step into the light of our dark shared history that is recreating itself through our individualistic and disconnected delusion of what is really happening to us when we don't rest deeply. Our liberation is deeply connected to the portal of healing we can tap into when we rest. Wherever our bodies are, we can find rest, ease and liberation. Part of our decolonising resides in deprogramming from our brainwashing about rest as our divine right. We are divine, our bodies are divine, and a site of liberation. Wherever our bodies are, we can find, snatch and centre rest. Blessings to all.